Think you know American supercars? The Saleen S7 isn't just fast. It's a legend built on secrets. This is a car that was designed to drive upside down, started as pure computer code, and humble Ferrari on its home turf. From a tuner's dream to a Le Mans champion with over 100 race wins, its story is crazier than fiction. Stick around as we count down 15 mind-blowing facts you never knew about the machine that put American hypercars on the map. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more insane car stories. 1. Of all the mind-bending claims in the world of supercars, the one about the Saleen S7 might just take the cake. Imagine this. At a speed of 160 miles per hour, the invisible force pushing this American beast down onto the road becomes greater than the car's own weight. That simple, incredible fact leads to a wild piece of garage bench speculation that with a long enough ceiling, the S7 could theoretically drive upside down, glued there by pure aerodynamic magic. This isn't science fiction. It's the cold, hard physics of genius design. The S7's entire body was crafted to act like one massive, inverted wing. Its famously long tail isn't just for dramatic looks. It's a key part of the system that channels air to create immense suction. Combined with over 50 precisely placed vents and gills that manage airflow, the car essentially becomes a vacuum seal to the pavement at high speed. The downforce is so immense that it transforms the vehicle from a mere car into a land-bound rocket, with gravity seemingly working in reverse. So, while you'll never see an S7 pilot attempting a loop-de-loop on a public road, the sheer possibility speaks volumes. It underscores a level of engineering audacity where the designers didn't just aim to beat the competition on a track, but to momentarily defy the very laws that keep us grounded. That fleeting thought of a car racing along a ceiling captures the imagination and perfectly encapsulates the S7's legacy, a machine that was never just about speed, but about achieving the seemingly impossible. 2. The notion that a clean-sheet, world-class supercar could go from a concept to a running prototype in just 10 months sounds more like folklore than automotive history. Yet for the Saleen S7, it was a remarkable reality. This whirlwind development period in 1999, 2000 wasn't achieved through shortcuts, but through a brilliant and focused strategy that leveraged pre-existing expertise and a clear, unified vision from the start. What made this speed possible was a unique convergence of Steve Saleen's definitive goal and a perfectly assembled team. Unlike other projects that might design a road car first and later adapt it for racing, Saleen's objective was singular: to build a car that could win at Le Mans. This meant the street-legal S7 and the racing S7 were developed simultaneously, sharing nearly every major component and saving immense time. Saleen himself directed the project in the V8 engine development in California, while he enlisted the specialized British engineering firm Ray Mallock Limited (RML) to handle the sophisticated chassis and aerodynamics work. This division of labor, combining visionary direction with world-class motorsport engineering, allowed parallel development streams to progress at a breathtaking pace. From that intense 10-month sprint emerged a stunning prototype that debuted at the Monterey Historic Races in August 2000. It's crucial to note, however, that the journey from a running prototype to a refined, production-ready supercar took several more years of diligent work. The first customer deliveries of the street-legal S7 didn't begin until 2003. This timeline underscores an important truth about the S7 story. The initial breakthrough was a feat of focused execution and partnership, proving that with the right team and an unwavering objective, even the most ambitious automotive dreams could be realized in record time. 3. The notion that a machine as complex and driver-focused as a supercar could be designed without ever building a full-scale physical model seems unthinkable, yet that is precisely the groundbreaking path the Saleen S7 team took. At the turn of the millennium, this approach was nothing short of revolutionary. While computer-aided design (CAD) was becoming common for individual components, entrusting the entire creation of a hypercar, its sweeping curves, intricate aerodynamics, and tight packaging, solely to digital code was a monumental leap of faith. It represented a bold bet on emerging technology, moving the workshop from the factory floor to the computer server. This digital-first strategy centered around sophisticated CAD programming, where every contour of the car's iconic body was defined. To validate the aerodynamics, the team relied on precise scale models for wind tunnel testing. a common practice in racing, but rare for complete road car program. This method allowed engineers to iterate shapes and vent placements at incredible speed, testing dozens of virtual designs in the time it would take to hand sculpt a single clay model. The result was a body honed not by hand, but by data, achieving its legendary downforce figures through calculated airflow rather than gradual physical refinement. The ultimate validation of this pure digital design came not on a computer screen, but on the track and the road. When the first full-scale car was finally assembled from parts fabricated directly from the digital files, it was a moment of truth. It fit together, it worked, and it performed exactly as the simulations predicted. This success cemented the S7's legacy as a pioneer, proving that the virtual world could birth a breathtakingly physical and capable machine, forever changing how high-performance cars could be conceived. For what truly set the Saleen S7 apart from the contemporaries was a radical philosophy. Its entire body was conceived not just as a shell, but as one massive, functional aerodynamic device. The most striking evidence of this was its unusually elongated tail section, which was engineered to act as a giant inverted wing. This design generated immense downforce by creating a low-pressure zone underneath the car, effectively sucking it onto the road, all without the need for a traditional, drag-inducing rear spoiler in its original configuration. It was a clean, elegant solution that made the car look fast even while standing still. This inverted wing was only part of a meticulously managed aerodynamic ecosystem. The S7 skin is punctuated by over 70 vents, gills, and channels, each serving a critical purpose. They are not stylistic additions, but precise tools for controlling airflow. Some intakes cool the mighty V8 engine and brakes, while others relieve high-pressure air from the wheel wells. Key outlets along the sides and top help manage the boundary layer of air, ensuring it flows smoothly over the car's form and exits cleanly at the rear to work in concert with that long tail. This intricate network prevents lift and turbulence, turning the car's exterior into a masterclass in passive aerodynamic stability. The result was not just theoretical, it was empirically staggering. This comprehensive approach allowed the S7 to generate over 700 pounds of downforce at 160 miles per hour, a figure that validated its wingless design. 5. For years, a persistent whisper has followed the Saleen S7, suggesting it was not a true original, but merely a rebadged Aston Martin race car. This myth, while intriguing, completely misrepresents the car's authentic and groundbreaking origins. The truth is far more compelling, and speaks to the vision of one man, Steve Saleen. As a principal designer and engineer, Saleen poured his decades of racing and tuning expertise into every line and component of the S7, aiming to create a definitive American supercar from a clean sheet of paper. To achieve his ambitious goal within his astonishing timeline, Saleen made a strategic decision common in high-level motorsport. He contracted specialist firms for their world-class expertise. The most notable partner was the British engineering company Ray Mallock Limited (RML), renowned for its chassis and aerodynamic proficiency. However, this was not a hands-off outsourcing of the design. RML operated under Saleen's direct and constant supervision, acting as an extension of his own engineering team to prototype and develop the chassis according to his specific, performance-driven parameters. This collaboration was about leveraging skill, not purchasing a pre-existing car. Therefore, the S7 stands not as a rebadged imitation, but as a brilliant fusion of clear American vision and specialized British motorsport engineering. The concept, the aesthetic, the powertrain, and the final authority rested unequivocally with Steve Saleen and his team in California. Dismissing the S7 as merely a repurposed Aston Martin overlooks the sheer entrepreneurial audacity and technical coordination it took to will such a machine into existence, ultimately cementing its legacy as a genuine and pioneering American creation. 6. This fact cuts to the very heart of the Saleen S7's identity and ambition. Given Steve Saleen's legendary history of modifying and racing Ford Mustangs, many naturally assumed the S7's thunderous V8 was a heavily massaged Ford unit. This assumption, however, couldn't be further from the truth. To create a true world beater, Saleen knew the engine needed to be an original masterpiece, designed and built from scratch to his exacting specifications, free from any legacy constraints. The result was a pure, proprietary 7.0-liter aluminum V8 that bore the Saleen name not as a badge, but as a birthright. Unlike a modified production block, this was a clean sheet design where every component, from the block and cylinder heads to the forged internals, was conceived for one purpose: to power the S7. This allowed engineers to optimize everything for weight, strength, and packaging, creating an engine that was both powerful and compact enough to fit within the car's low, mid-engine architecture. It was a statement of technical independence, proving Saleen could compete on the same foundational level as the established European exotic marques. The output of this bespoke power plant was staggering for its time. In its initial naturally aspirated form, it produced around 550 horsepower, a figure that immediately placed the S7 in the supercar stratosphere. This foundation was so robust that it later allowed for the dramatic addition of twin turbochargers, pushing power to an almost unimaginable 750 horsepower and beyond in later variants. That transformative capability was only possible because of the engine's inherent, over-engineered strength. Therefore, the S7's heart wasn't an adaptation from a parts bin. It was a core of the car's genius, a wholly American-designed engine built to propel an American dream to unprecedented speeds. 7. The interior of the Saleen S7 embodied its race car for the road philosophy to an almost absurd degree, featuring seats that were bolted firmly in place with no adjustment for fore, aft, or rake. For a machine costing over $500,000, this uncompromising setup was solved not with motors and switches, but with a deeply personal touch. When you purchase an S7, the factory would custom install the seat and pedal assembly precisely to your body measurements, ensuring you became a fixed, integral part of the car's chassis. Part of the lavish purchase experience even included a visit to the factory for a final fitting, cementing a bond between driver and machine that was literal as well as emotional. This bespoke fitting created an incredibly intimate and focused driving environment, but it came with a stark trade-off in practicality. The driving position was so personalized that anyone of a significantly different size would find the car nearly undrivable. Journalists testing cars found that if the pedals were set for a taller owner, a shorter driver would need extra seat bolsters to reach them comfortably. In one case, a test driver couldn't fit into a car at all because the pedals were positioned for Saleen's own test pilot. This wasn't a car you could casually share. It was a tailored suit of carbon fiber and leather woven around a single occupant. Ultimately, this extreme approach to customization was a definitive statement about the S7's purpose. It wasn't designed for flexibility or convenience. It was engineered for the singular pursuit of performance and connection. By fixing the driver in the optimal position for weight distribution and control, offset toward the center of the car, no less, Saleen eliminated compromise. You didn't just get into the S7, you were installed into it, becoming the final vital component in a machine built for one thing: to translate raw, thunderous power into motion with unflinching purpose. It was a reminder that in the rarefied world of hand-built hypercars, the driver's experience could be as unique and unadjustable as a fingerprint. 8. The story of engineers taking Saleen S7 through a McDonald's drive-thru to test the window's clearance for a large drink cup is one of those beloved, slightly absurd legends that surround the car. While it's often shared among enthusiasts as a fun fact, concrete documentation from primary sources like factory records is elusive. However, the very persistence of the tale speaks to the S7's reputation as a uniquely American supercar, one born from practical, hands-on problem-solving rather than distant European idealism. It's a perfect anecdote precisely because it feels so plausible for a small, determined team building a road car from scratch. Whether literally true or not, the story is fundamentally rooted in the S7's very real and extreme ergonomic design. The cabin was notoriously narrow, with a footwell described as only about 10 inches wide, requiring drivers to wear thin-soled shoes. With its fixed seats and everything tailored to the owner, ensuring functional access points was critical. Testing something as mundane as drive-through or toll booth accessibility would be a logical, if unorthodox, step for a team focused on creating a car that was not just a racetrack missile but a usable, if challenging, road machine. It represents an almost mischievous commitment to real-world validation, a final check on a vehicle that was otherwise born from wind tunnels and CAD software. This blend of high science and grounded pragmatism ultimately defines the S7 spirit. It was a car that could theoretically drive upside down due to aerodynamics, yet its creators reportedly worried about soda cup clearance. This contrast is what makes the car so compelling. It wasn't just about abstract performance metrics. It was about the raw, sometimes inconvenient, experience of piloting a piece of machinery. 9. The asymmetric cockpit of Saleen S7, with the driver's seat noticeably offset toward the center of the car, is a profound design choice that speaks directly to its racing DNA. This wasn't a stylistic quirk, but a calculated engineering decision to optimize three critical areas: weight distribution, driver visibility, and vehicle control. By positioning the single most significant movable mass in the cabin, the driver, closer to the vehicle's centerline, engineers improved the car's polar moment of inertia. This makes the S7 more responsive and easier to rotate through corners, a trait prized on a racetrack, translating to sharper, more intuitive handling for the driver. This central positioning also dramatically enhances the driver's vantage point. Sitting closer to the car center provides a clearer, more symmetrical view down the road and over the long, curvaceous front fenders. In a vehicle as wide and low as the S7, this improved sightline is crucial for precise placement on a circuit and for managing the car's width in everyday situations. Furthermore, aligning the driver more directly with the steering wheel and pedals creates a more natural, ergonomic relationship with the primary controls, reducing fatigue and increasing the sense of connection, which is essential for maintaining control at extreme speeds. This asymmetric layout is the ultimate expression of the S7's purpose-built philosophy. It complements the car's fixed seating position, where everything was tailored to the owner, by also optimizing where that owner sits within the chassis. Every design element, from the inverted wing body to this off-center cockpit, was in service of performance. It serves as a constant, physical reminder to the driver that they are not just a passenger, but an integrated component of a machine engineered for one thing: to harness physics in pursuit of speed. It's a bold feature that, much like the car itself, prioritizes pure function over convention. 10. The claim that the Saleen S7 was the most successful supercar of the 2000s is backed by a staggering and almost unimaginable statistic: over 100 race wins in a single decade. From its competition debut in 2001 through 2010, this American-born GT car didn't just participate, it dominated. The most telling part of its legacy is that its victory tally during this period surpassed the combined wins of the celebrated Italian triumvirate of Ferrari, Maserati, and Lamborghini. For a specialist manufacturer like Saleen to outpace the storied Marquez on the global racing stage stands as one of the great underdog achievements in modern motorsport history. This success was earned in the crucible of what is now considered a golden era for GT racing. The S7 was a constant threat in premier series like the American Le Mans Series and the FIA GT Championship, facing off against factory-backed efforts and some of the most sophisticated machinery ever built. Its victories weren't minor events. They included prestigious triumphs at legendary circuits like Spa-Francorchamps and the 12 Hours of Sebring. The car's potency was a product of its brutal 7.0-liter V8 power and an aerodynamic efficiency that made it famously fast on flowing tracks, a combination that kept it competitive for an entire decade against ever-evolving competition. The ultimate validation of the S7R's engineering and durability came at the world's most famous endurance race. In 2010, nearly a decade after the car's first race, a Saleen S7 finally achieved the crowning glory of a class victory at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. This win was the exclamation point on a career defined by persistence and excellence. 11. The notion that 750 horsepower from the Saleen S7 twin-turbo could ever be considered insufficient borders on the absurd. Yet for a select group of buyers, it was merely a starting point. Recognizing this rarefied demand, Saleen created an official competition package, a factory-sanctioned transformation that turned an already ferocious supercar into a barely street-legal weapon. This package offered two apocalyptic power levels: a formidable 850 horsepower, or, for those who accepted no compromises, an earth-shattering four-digit threshold of 1,000 horsepower. It was an offer that blurred the line between road car and racing machine, delivered directly from a factory. Achieving such monumental power required a comprehensive re-engineering of the twin-turbocharged V8. The competition package was far more than a simple engine tune. It involved a complete overhaul of the force induction system with massive race-spec intercoolers, a high-flow fuel system to feed the beast, and a fortified bottom end with stronger internals to withstand the tremendous forces. The result was performance that defied the era's benchmarks. With 1,000 horsepower on tap, the S7 competition could catapult from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a scarcely believable 2.8 seconds, on its way to a claimed top speed that nipped at the heels of 250 miles per hour. The car's aerodynamic body, originally designed to create downforce, now had to manage the physics of unleashing such violence onto the pavement. This package was the ultimate expression of the S7's identity, a direct through line from its championship-winning S7, our race car, to the public road. It wasn't an aftermarket modification, but a factory-built statement, offering a clientele of enthusiasts and collectors a tangible piece of motorsport extremity. With only an estimated 12 examples ever produced, the S7 competition stands as one of the most exclusive and potent American cars ever conceived. It cemented the S7's legacy not just as a fast car, but as a platform for seemingly limitless power, a testament to an era when a small American company dared to build a supercar that could outperform and outpower anything in the world. 12. The resurrection of the Saleen S7 in 2017 as the S7LM was less of a comeback and more of a declaration of war on modern hypercar power figures. Announced to commemorate Saleen's Le Mans racing heritage, the S7LM arrived with an already astounding 1,300 horsepower from its twin-turbocharged 7.0-liter V8. However, Saleen engineers had a further trick up their sleeve. By filling the tank with E85 ethanol fuel, the engine's output could be pushed to a Bugatti-challenging 1,500 horsepower and 1,398 lb-ft of torque. This transformed performance, with claimed figures including a 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 2.2 seconds and a top speed brushing against 300 miles per hour, ensuring the early 2000 supercar could stand toe-to-toe with the fastest machines of a new generation. This astronomical power upgrade was the ultimate evolution of a platform born from racing. The original S7's engine, a Saleen Proprietary V8 loosely based on a Ford Windsor block, had been designed and started to eventually accept force induction. After a naturally aspirated beginning, the 2005 S7 twin turbo delivered 750 horsepower, and an optional competition package later pushed that to 1,000 horsepower. The S7LM took this proven race-bred architecture and applied extreme tuning and advanced fuel compatibility to reach its 4-digit heights, proving the foundational strength of Steve Saleen's original 2-decade-old design. The S7LM story is also one of extreme exclusivity and a complicated production reality. While Saleen originally announced plans to build 7 of these ultimate editions by converting existing S7 chassis, reports suggest that only between 3 and 7 were ever actually completed. 13. The claim was audacious for its time. With the introduction of the twin-turbo S7 TT in 2005, the small American company Saleen announced its hypercar could reach approximately 250 miles per hour. This figure, often cited as 248 miles per hour, wasn't just a number. It was a deliberate challenge to the established order. It aimed to dethrone the legendary, naturally aspirated McLaren F1, which held a production car record at 240 miles per hour. In one bold stroke, Saleen positioned its homegrown supercar not merely as a fast car, but as a contender for the title of the world's fastest, daring to enter a league occupied by the most revered names in automotive history. This staggering top speed was a result of a purposeful evolution. The original naturally aspirated S7, while powerful at 550 horsepower, was designed from the outset to eventually accept twin turbochargers. When Ferrari launched the 660 horsepower Enzo, Saleen executed its planned response, adding twin Garrett turbos to boost the 7.0-liter V8 to 750 horsepower. The engineers focused on top-end power, with Steve Saleen noting that, "We wanted more top-end, which turbos gave us." The car's aerodynamics were also refined, with reworked diffusers and a spoiler increasing downforce by 60% to keep the car stable as it approached its velocity limit. The S7 TT's claimed speed did more than just generate headlines. It reshaped the performance hierarchy of the 2000s. Contemporary comparisons showed it surpassing its direct rival, the Ferrari Enzo by over 20 miles per hour in top speed. It also beat the Lamborghini Murcielago by a significant margin. While the veracity of the exact 250 miles per hour claim has been debated and was never officially certified, its widespread acceptance cemented the Saleen's reputation. It proved that a dedicated team from California could engineer a machine with the theoretical performance to not just challenge, but potentially outpace the greatest European supercars of the era, forever securing its place in the pantheon of hypercar legends. 14. The claim that the Saleen S7 is the first true mid-engine, American-born and bred supercar is a significant title, and one thoroughly supported by its groundbreaking conception and execution. Before its debut in 2000, the American high-performance scene was dominated by front-engine muscle cars and the iconic Corvette. While there were a handful of other mid-engine production sports cars in the U.S., none were conceived with the no-compromise, world-beating ethos of a true supercar. The S7 changed that by being designed from a blank sheet of paper as a pure, street-legal race car intended to compete directly with the best from Ferrari and Lamborghini on the global stage. What earned the S7 this distinction was a complete package of exotic car engineering previously unseen from an American manufacturer. It was not a modified version of an existing vehicle, but the first fully proprietary car produced by Saleen. Its heart was a bespoke 7.0-liter V8 with Saleen's own aluminum block and heads, not a borrowed Ford unit, providing up to 750 horsepower in twin-turbo form. The car featured a carbon fiber body draped over a lightweight space frame chassis, advanced aerodynamics that generated immense downforce, and a mid-engine layout optimized for balance and handling. This combination delivered performance, with a top speed claimed at over 240 miles per hour, that could legitimately challenge contemporary European legends like the McLaren F1 and Ferrari Enzo. This breakthrough was a monumental declaration of American capability in the rarefied world of exotic cars. For decades, the supercar domain had been an exclusive playground of storied European marques. The S7's arrival, born from a vision of Steve Saleen and a small team in California, decisively broke that monopoly. It proved that an American company could design, engineer, and build a complete supercar that stood on equal footing in terms of technology, extreme performance, and dramatic presence. In doing so, the Saleen S7 carved out a unique and enduring legacy as America's pioneering true supercar, paving the way for every U.S.-built hypercar that followed. 15. The success of the Saleen S7 was more than just a trophy for Steve Saleen. It was a professional portfolio, and it caught the eye of one of the world's largest automakers. Shortly after the S7 established itself as America's first true mid-engine supercar, Ford Motor Company approached Saleen in 2002 with a historic proposal. They were embarking on a mission to build a modern supercar honoring the legendary GT40, and Ford executives knew just a man for the job. They awarded Saleen two separate contracts, one for the engineering and development of the new Ford GT, and another for its paint, assembly, and manufacturing. This decision was a direct acknowledgement that the capability proven by the Bespoke S7 project made Saleen's small team a credible partner for one of Ford's most prestigious programs. To fulfill this contract, Saleen established a dedicated manufacturing operation far from its California headquarters. The company converted a former door factory in Troy, Michigan, into a specialized mini-assembly plant for the Ford GT. This facility handled the sophisticated paintwork and the majority of the vehicle's assembly. The engineering leadership was also deeply connected to the S7. The chief program engineer for the Ford GT project was Neil Hammond, who had previously been the head of engineering for the Saleen S7 and was a Saleen employee loaned to Ford for the duration of the project. Furthermore, Steve Saleen introduced key performance technology, such as the twin-screw supercharger design that helped the GT's engine reach its target of 550 horsepower. The partnership was a complete integration of Saleen into Ford's production process. Every single Ford GT prototype was built at the Saleen facility in Troy. For production cars, approximately 80% of the assembly work was completed by Saleen employees at their plant. The nearly finished cars were then shipped to Ford's Wixom, Michigan assembly plant, where United Auto Workers, employed by Saleen to comply with union contracts, installed the final components like the driveline and interior. This collaboration resulted in the production of the iconic 2005 to 2006 Ford GT, cementing a legacy where the triumph of an independent American supercar directly paved the way for the rebirth of a motoring legend.